Captains, welcome back to another YouTube video. Do you know that it's time for you to update your resume, but every time you think about it, you get sick to your stomach? You don't know what the new rules are. You don't know what to update. You don't know what to do, and you're lost. I get it, and I got you. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 amazing tips on how to write the perfect resume. And yes, you can do it. I'm Barbara Mason. I'm the HR Insider. So I bring my 20 years of HR experience in the corporate world and help you navigate these career and life topics. So let's go. So in this video, we're going to talk about 3 tips on how to create the most amazing resume for yourself. Now, I know there's plenty of times you can go out there and get a resume writer to do it for you, but I want to empower you to know how to do your own resume. That way it becomes your document. And I think that is the best way to go than paying a lot of money to get someone to do it for you. There's a time and a place to do that, but I want you to feel like you know how to do it. And so let's talk about tip number 1 on how to create the perfect resume. Tip number 1 is this, is first you want to choose a format that is pleasing to the eye and that looks good. Now, if you want to rewind back 10 or 15 years, a lot of people would go into Microsoft Word, download a resume template, and use that. Let me just tell you, that is played out. You don't want to download the traditional standard, everybody has it, resume template in Microsoft Word. You want to upgrade and get you a nice, modern, clean, professional looking resume template that's going to stand out. Now, we're not talking flashy with lots of colors and lights, but we are talking about a modern look. Some of the new resume templates now have where they have a margin on the side. Some have where they have colored bars at the top. Nothing too much, but just something to give it a more modern look. So you can find resume templates many different places. You can find some that are pretty okay for free, or you can pay a very low cost and find some on the internet under Google, Etsy, or anything like that. Or you can always get them from a career coach like myself. So number 1 is make sure that you come out of the gates looking good. The way that your resume looks to the eye and its aesthetics is a big concern for a lot of people, and it's something that can be easily fixed. Think about this. Recruiters see tons of resumes a day. And so if you have the same standard template from Microsoft Word that almost just looks like a boring format, then you're not going to really stand out. You may have great experience, but they're going to toss you to the side, okay? So go ahead and get you an upgraded, modern resume template. Number 2, before you do your resume, you want to prepare before you write. To me, this is the secret sauce to writing a resume. Many people sit down and they don't have their stuff together and they're frustrated trying to remember what they've done, who they did it with, and where were they, all of this stuff. Well, here's a simple tip. Before you write your resume, here's an exercise I want you to do. I want you to list every job that you've had that you're going to include on your resume, and I want you to write down 3 significant accomplishments for each job. If you do that on the front end, it's going to save you a load of time on the back end. That way you've already thought about what you've done and you're already thinking in terms of results and not job duties. Now let's face it, on your resume, it is prime real estate. Every word counts. So you got to make sure that you're using your space wisely. The other thing is that your work experience is the creme de la creme of the resume. That's where all the magic has to be. Your work experience. And many people use this section and just cut and paste or just have a laundry list of job duties, not their accomplishments or results. There is a difference. So I want you to get out a piece of paper and think about what were three major significant accomplishments for each job that you had. And that will give you a good start when it's time to do your resume, especially the work history section. Here's tip number 3. You want to make sure that your resume is relevant. That's right. Your resume has to be relevant, which is why I always suggest that you update your resume at least every 6 to 12 months, even if you're not looking for a job. One, it's going to make sure that you don't forget all the awesome stuff that you've done. And 2, it's going to help you pay attention to that moment in time and what's the trend and what's relevant. And so what I mean by relevance is this. Many people will do one resume or hire someone to do a resume, and they will send that same resume out for every job they apply for. Now, the way you're supposed to do it is to have a resume that serves kind of as your base, kind of like home base. But you want to tweak, change, edit your resume to fit the particular job that you're applying for. That's what we call relevance. For example, if a job is really about financial analysts and they want someone who has managed multiple budgets and worked with different customers and a certain level of money, let's say that you've worked with, $500,000 budgets, then those are the pieces that you want to highlight on your resume if that's what you've done. So maybe you would move those items to the top. Maybe you would change some of the keywords that you're using in your professional summary. Maybe you would move some bullets that are forward to position number 1 because it directly talks about what they need in that job. Yes, you may have other financial experience that they can use, but what is the crux or the core of the job that you have experience with, and making sure that you really highlight that and bring that to the forefront and minimize the other stuff. Conversely, let's say the next job really wants someone who has dealt with new accounts. So maybe it's the setup of the account and worked with a lot of software. So maybe you've done that too. And so maybe you tweak your resume or change it so that you show that you launched a new software, that you set up 15 new accounts because you were part of a company that was a startup. So again, it's still great experience, but because that particular job, that's what they're looking for, then you want to make sure that you bring that to the top, and you may bring some other stuff down. And you're going to go through that process each time you apply for a job. Look at the job description. It is your compass. It's your roadmap. And so if you follow the roadmap, it's telling you exactly, hey, we need this over here. You look, do I have that? Yeah, let me make sure I put that in front. Let me make sure I add more about that. So that's what I mean about being relevant. So there you have it. Those are your 3 tips to write an amazing resume. Make sure that you have a great template. Make sure that you prepare and list out your accomplishments before you get started. And 3, make sure it's relevant for the job that you're applying for. You must have a clear target, and your resume must be clear on what your target is. So I hope that helps you. If you want to get more resume tips, please look at my links below, join my Facebook group, also follow me on Instagram. And of course, don't forget, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you always know when I have a new video. I'll see you soon. Until next time, expect greater.